ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
Gursikh Pyareo, today we're going to look at the second Vaar. We're going to look at the second paij of this Vaar of Bhai Gurdas ji. Now we're going to be looking at Raam Japo ji aise aise through Prahlaad. This week we're going to be looking at Prahlaad Japyo har jaise, just like Bhagat Prehlaad ji did. So we took the innocence from Bhagat Dhru ji, and today when we go through the Vaar, we're going to look at what we're going to take from Bhagat Prehlaad ji's life. ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਵਾਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਸ ਘਰ ਅੰਦਰ, the house that Bhagat Prehlaad ji came, ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ is telling us, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ ਅੰਦਰ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੋਖੀ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਏ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ. They came to the house of a demon. ਘਰ ਹਰਨਾਖਸ ਦੈਂਤ ਦੇ ਕੱਲਰ ਕਵਲ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਘਰ ਹਰਨਾਖਸ ਦੈਂਤ ਦੇ. ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ saying to us, whose house did ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ come into? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਘਰ haranaakhas dant de. Dant means demon. They're saying this Bhagat, this devotee of God, this is something that you will never see normally, something completely out of the box that we're not normally used to seeing. They said a Bhagat is born in the house of a demon. They said only demons are born in the house of demons, only Bhagats are born in the house of Bhagats. But they said in this yuga, in this era, you're not to see these type of things, you don't see these type of things. They said, but what's happened? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੈਂਤ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਭਗਤ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਭਗਤ ਨੇ ਜਨਮ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ. ਘਰ ਹਰਨਾਖਸ is the demon. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਘਰ ਹਰਨਾਖਸ dant means demon, and then Harnaakhash is the king of that time. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਘਰ ਹਰਨਾਖਸ dant ਦੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ this is beautiful. The way Bhai Gurdas ji describes this as kallar, kaval, Bhagat Prehlaad. What does kallar mean? Kallar is referring to that land, Gursikh Pyareo, that is so toxic that you can't even grow anything. There's no crops that can be grown on that land. That's what kallar means. Us dharti nu kiha janda, where there's acid types of fumes coming out of that land, Gursikh Pyareo, nothing can be grown on that land. And they said the house of Harnaakhash, the house of this demon, is just like that land. You can't grow any crop on it. You can't expect any fruits. You can't even grow anything on it. They said, but look what happened. They said in the house of a demon, just like that land you can't grow anything on. They said, but just like that land is Harnaakhash. This is a Bhagat is born out of that land, the land of Harnaakhash, of a demon. Kande kallar, kaval means. They said you can't expect anything to grow on a land that is kallar, that is completely barren. A land that is barren, you can't expect anything to grow, but what's grown there? A lotus flower, Gursikh Pyareo. A lotus flower that can't be touched by anything. The land might be barren, you can't grow anything on it. There's fumes coming out of it, but Gursikh Pyareo, but a lotus flower is there floating on top of this land, and nothing can touch this lotus flower. And who is this lotus flower? It's Bhagat Prehlaad ji. How beautiful was this, the way Bhai Gurdas ji described it to us. Kende kallar kaval Bhagat Prehlaad. Gursikh Pyareo, when we think about this, ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਲਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ, when they're talking about color, a barren land, then our minds go to this a ਪੰਕਤੀ by ਧੰਨ Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji's Bani. There's a line in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji's Bani as well, and over there they talk about a color, they talk about a barren land there as well. And Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, and they're saying, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪੀਏ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਸੇ ਅਸਥਲ ਸੁਇਨ ਚੌਬਾਰ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪੀਏ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਿਆਰੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that place ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਦਾ, ਉਸ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਦਾ, that place where ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ji's name, that beloved ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪੀਏ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਿਆਰੇ, that beloved ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪੀਏ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਸੇ ਅਸਥਲ. ਕੱਲਰ and asthal mean the same thing. Kallar means a barren piece of land, and also asthal means a barren piece of land as well. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah is saying that place Even that land might be barren completely, gone to waste, where nobody even looks towards that land. But they said if somebody is living on that land, if there's somebody sitting on that land, Guru Sikh Pyareo, it might be a barren piece of land, but they're saying, Jithe naam japiye prabh pyare se asthal soin chubare, Guru Sikh Pyareo, it will feel like it's a mansion made of gold, even that place where somebody sits and meditates and japs the naam of that Prabhu Pyara. Somebody where somebody sits and meditates on our beloved Lord's name, that land might be barren on the outside, but when you go and sit on that land, when somebody is remembering Vaheguruji on that piece of land, it doesn't matter what that land's like, it will feel like to you, Guru Sikh Pyareo, that you're sitting in a mansion made out of gold. But and there's that on one side, jithe naam japiye prabh pyare se asthil soin chbare, par jithe naam na japiye mere goinda sei nagar ujadi jiyo, jithe naam na japiye, jithe naam nahi japya janda. But where then there's that place where the naam, where Vaheguruji isn't remembered, jithe naam na japiye mere goinda, jithe us goinda da naam nahi japya janda, sei nagar, it might be a place that is completely full of people, might be a place that is full of beautiful houses, say nagar. Nagar means a place where people live, a place where it's full of houses, beautiful houses, say nagar ujadi jiyo. But then they said that place is like a barren piece of land. And Guru Sikh Pyareo over here, aithe fir kehna kita Bhagat Prehlaad ji bare, Bhagat Prehlaad ji, like the lotus flower, has come into the house of a demon. Even though he's in the house of a demon, what is a lotus flower? A lotus flower is that is not touched by the dirt, is not touched by the mud that it is surrounded by. No matter how much water comes to try and drown that lotus flower, but that lotus flower will always rise. Just like Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji said in their Bani as well. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah ne apne Bani andar kehn lage, रे मन ऐसी हर से प्रीत कर जैसी जल कमले, लहरी नाल पछाड़िए पी बिगसे असने, रे मन, ओ माय मन, रे मन ऐसी हर से प्रीत कर, why don't you love Vaheguruji in this way, रे मन ऐसी हर से प्रीत कर जैसी जल कमले, कमले means lotus flower. They said just like the lotus flower loves the water, because that lotus flower, or the hond, it's born into that water, it's born from that, the roots are in the water. That's why that lotus flower loves that water so much. Re man aisi harsyo preet kar jaisi jal kamle, lehri naal pashadiye, even though that water, the waves rise in that water and tries to slap that, tries to throw down that lotus flower, no matter if it comes this way, lehri naal pashadi, it's throwing it one way, it's throwing it the other way, lehri naal pashadi, but what happens to the lotus flower? Pi vigse asne, the lotus flower rises even higher. That lotus flower rises even higher, and it doesn't complain to the water that what are you doing to me. It's saying to the water, you might be trying to throw me down, but instead I love you so much that you make me rise even higher. You make my jivan even more sucha. So in a Guru Sikh's life, Guru Sikh Pyareo, waves might come in our life. The waves of attachment, the waves of desires. There's many things that might come and try and throw us down, but a Guru Sikh is that, like a lotus flower. No money. How many waves come in a Guru Sikh's life, Guru Sikh Pyareo? Because they are in love with the Guru. Re man aisi harsyo preet kar jaisi jal kamle. Just like a lotus flower, a Guru Sikh will rise even higher and rise above these problems that come in a Guru Sikh's life. So Guru Sikh Pyareo, Hon Bhagat Prehlaad ji, first of all they come into a demon's house. But who is this demon, Guru Sikh Pyareo? There's a rishi that was meditating. There's a rishi who renounced his life, Guru Sikh Pyareo, and he's meditated for many, many months, many, many years even. But when he comes away from his meditation, and his eyes go upon a woman. He falls in love with that woman. And Guru Sikh Pyareo, and from that woman, from the womb of that woman is born two sons. Two sons are born from this rishi, and one of their names is Harnaakhas. And his brother's name is Harkaship. There's two brothers that are born, Guru Sikh Pyareo, both Bali ne, they've got a lot of physical strength. They've got a lot of power. And as these two children grow up, but they don't use their intellect very well. Harnaakash's brother gets into a lot of trouble with the Devate Guru Sikh Pyare. He gets into a lot of trouble with the Devate, and then what happens, there's a Devata that comes down and destroys Harnaakash's brother. So there's a Devata by the name of Asaha Devata, who is another reincarnation of Vishnu, who is a boar. A boar comes down and destroys Harnaakash's brother. So we're trying to work this out. We're talking about Satyug here, another completely different era. So a deity comes down in the form of a boar, who's a reincarnation of Vishnu, and that comes and destroys Harnaakash's brother. Why? Because he was giving trouble to so many people. And then Guru Sikh Pyaro, but Harnaakhash now says, somebody destroyed my brother, I will get revenge. So Harnaakhash now, he's saying, what's the best way for me to get revenge? Harnaakhash starts to meditate. Harnaakhash meditates for many, many years. For many years Harnaakhash is meditating, Guru Sikh Pyaro. But in Harnaakash's mind, he's going to get revenge. He's going to get revenge for his brother's death with the deities. He's going to go and cause trouble. And as he's meditating, Guru Sikh Pyaro, the deities realize that he's going to cause trouble. So then the king of the Devata, which is Indra Devata, Guru Sikh Pyaro, he comes and he kidnaps Harnaakash's wife. When he kidnaps Harnaakash's wife, she was pregnant. And as he was taking her away, so Indra Devata, he's kidnapped Harnaakash's wife. He's meditating to get boons from Brahma, from the deity Brahma. He's meditating to get boons from the deity Brahma. And now the Devata know that he's going to cause trouble. He's going to cause trouble to us. So let us see what we can do. So as he's meditating, because they have grown to become great kings. Harnaakhash has become a great king as he grows, but with much power. He's got a lot of power. So he's not being good to the people. He's not being good to the Parja. So by force, he's got power and he's got rule. And so what does Indra Devata do? Whilst he's in meditation, he completely wrecks all of his mansions and his palaces. He wrecks everything he owes. And at the same time, he kidnaps his wife. But as he's taking his wife away, she's pregnant. And that same person that we spoke about last week, Narad Muni, that is known to be one of the sons of Brahma, again he appears. He appears in front of Indra Devata and Guru Sikh Pyaro, and he says to Indra Devata, Narad Muni says to Indra Devata, take some pity on her. She's expecting a child. She's not only expecting a normal child, this child that she's expecting is a very special child. Why don't you give over the wife of Harnaakhash to me? Let me take her in my care. So as Harnaakash's wife, she comes under the care of Narad Muni, and then Indra Devata goes, he's ruined completely all the mansions and everything that Harnaakhash had created. And then, but as she's in the care of Narad Muni, the wife of Harnaakhash, as she's got this child in her pet, in her womb, and then Narad Muni, he goes through the stories of God. He's meditating on God's name, and all constantly he's saying Narayan, Narayan. He's saying Raam, Raam. And he's getting her to say the same thing, Harnaakash's wife to say the same. He's saying, repeat God's name. She starts to repeat God's name as well. Narad Muni is explaining to her that you never let go of a guru's bachan. When a guru gives you instructions, when a guru gives you a shabad, then you hold on to that shabad, and no matter what comes in your way, you'll never let go of that shabad no matter what. Gur ka shabad base ji nale, jal nahi doobe, taskar nahi leve, paahe na sake jale. That nothing is able to take this away for you. He's explaining this to her. वो कथा करदा आ, वो दसदा पिया हरनाकश दी घर वाली नूं, जेड़ा गुरु दा बचन है, the guru's bachan that you take, पल्ले नाल बन के रखना, you tie in your hem really tight and you never let go of it no matter what. You never let go of meditating on God's name. Guru Sikh Pyaro, not only is she listening to this, she's so focused, Guru Sikh Pyaro, that this is going inside of her, and that child that's in her womb, that child is getting this sikhya as well. This teaching the child is taking on as well. This child is listening to this. That whatever your guru says, that you take on so much, that no matter what comes in your way, you don't let go of what your guru is saying. And his guru becomes Narad Muni at that time. And what is Narad Muni teaching? You never let go of Waheguruji's name. You never let go of saying Raam, that your dhyan only must be in Ek Akal Purkh Ji and nobody else. You don't focus on nobody else other than Ek Akal Purkh. And when the time came, Guru Sikh Pyaro Harnaakhash, his wife, she then gives birth to Prahlaad. As she gives birth to Prahlaad, Narad Muni takes care of them. He's raised Prahlaad with his own hands in his own place in his ashram. When a few months, or some people write, when a few years went by, and then Harnaakhash is finished his meditation. On the other side, when Harnaakhash finishes his meditation, because then he's won over the heart of Brahma, because he had a desire when he was doing bhakti. When he was meditating on Brahma's name, on the deities, he had ਉਹਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਇਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ. That I want to captivate them. That then they actually owe me something. When Brahma came and he said to Harnaakhash, he said, ask for anything you want. Ask for a boon. And Harnaakhash said, I asked for the boon that nobody can kill me. He goes, I don't want to be killed by any human being, any woman, any man. I don't want to be killed by any weapon that is made upon this earth. If there's any weapon that somebody's made, I don't want to be, nobody should be able to kill me with any weapons. Nobody should be able to kill me when it's night. Nobody should be able to kill me when it's day. Nobody should be able to kill me upon this earth. Whether I'm there flying in the skies, nobody should be able to kill me in the sky. He's asked for all these boons. He said, nobody should be able to kill me inside. If I'm inside my palace, nobody should be able to kill me inside my palace. He said, nobody should be able to kill me outside of my palace. He asks for all these boons that nobody can destroy me. Brahma said, you're a demon. You're going to use this boon in a negative way. Think about what you are asking for. You'll bring trouble to the people. Because Hor kuj mangala, he goes, ask for something else. And Harnaakhash said, I meditated upon your name, I pleased you, you came, and now if you want to give me this, then fine, otherwise get on your way. He said, I'll meditate more and then I'll make sure I get these boons from another deity. Brahma said, alright, if you're going to be stubborn, then I can't say no to you, then I bless you with these boons. As he's been blessed with these boons, he's come out of his meditation, Narad Muni brings back his child. So he doesn't even know that he's had a child, because he's been in meditation for so long. Narad Muni brings back his child and his wife. He's very happy to see his child, he's very happy to see his wife. He's very angered. He's raging when he sees that somebody has destroyed all his palaces that he had created. He rebuilds everything that has been destroyed. He goes and gets revenge. He goes and causes distress to all the deities, to all the devotees. Gursikh Pyaro Indra Devata, he then goes crying to Vishnu. He says to Vishnu, look how powerful he's become. What are we supposed to do about him? He's going to cause so much distress. Vishnu said, don't worry. When the time is right, when the time comes, his own son will be the cause of his death. So they've rested, they've sat back and waited for that time. Now coming back to the Vaar of Bhai Gurdas ji. Bhai Gurdas ji कहने लगे, कहते जदों समा आया, Bhagat Prehlaad ji Gursikh Pyaro 6 साल दी उम्र हुई. Bhagat Prehlaad ji turns the age of 6 years old. Raajae ने क्या, Harnaakhash ने क्या, gets the 2 best teachers of the area. Do pandit na laya, he gets the 2 best teachers. He said, you are to teach my child. He goes, तुसी सिखाना मेरे बच्चे नू, की सिखाना तुसी मेरे बच्चे नू ये सिखाना कि तू केवल हरनाखश दा नाम जपना, होर किसी दा नाम नहीं जपना. You are to meditate on the name of Harnaakhash, of his father. This is what you are to teach my child. And this is what Harnaakhash had made everybody else do as well. He used to make people say Jale Harnaakhash, that Harnaakhash is in the water. He used to make people say Thale Harnaakhash, that the Harnaakhash is in the earth. used to say to everybody that you are to meditate on my name. I am as powerful as God, that nobody can destroy me, death cannot come and get me. So I am a Kal as well, that Kal, that death can come not and destroy me anymore. So I am the same as God now. So without force, everybody, wherever he ruled, under his rule, everybody meditated on his name. And he said, now you are to teach my child the same thing. And Gursikh Pyaro, now Bhai Gurdas ji likhan lage, kende padhan pathaya 4 saal, paande chit hua Prahlaad. Kende padhan pathaya 4 saal means a school, a religious school. Jithe bacche nu padhaya janda ya, tusi how to meditate on God's name, who to meditate on. Kende padhan pathaya, kende skule bhejya. And now Prahlaad's turn comes. He's gone to school. Bhai Gurdas ji is telling us, kende padhan pathaya 4 saal. Kende what state are the pandits in? Pandits the teachers. Kende pande chit hua Prahlaad. Prahlaad means kende bahut khush hai, anand vich hai. The pandits are so happy. Why? Because now in their classroom they've taught many children before, but now they're going to get to teach the son of the king. And why are they so happy? Because they know now their pockets are going to be filled with money. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਰਾਜੇ ਨੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੜਾਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਹੁਣ ਜੇਬਾਂ ਭਰੂਗੀਆਂ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ with money. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ so they very happy from inside, we're going to get to teach the Raja's child. But Gursikh Pyareo, we might be thinking, why are we going through a story like this? Why are we talking about the devte? Gursikh Pyareo, Prahlaad ji's name is mentioned numerous times in Guru Granth Sahib ji Paatshah ji's Bani. Not only Bhai Gurdas ji has told this story, somebody out there might doubt Bhai Gurdas ji. ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸ਼ੰਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਵਾਰਾਂ ਵੀ ਬਾਣੀਆਂ, ਬਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਦਰਜਾ ਮਿਲੇ, the status of ਬਾਣੀ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਵਾਰਾਂ have got. ਪਰ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੰਕਾ ਹੋਵੇ, if somebody's got doubt in their mind that why is Bhai Gurdas ji writing such stories, Gursikh Pyaro, in Guru Granth Sahib ji Paatshah ji Sache Paatshah ji's Bani, this story has been told at least 4 times. Bhagat Prehlaad ji's name is mentioned numerous times, but the full story has been told 4 times. At least of my knowledge. Guru Amar Das ji Paatshah ji has told the full story. Bhagat Kabir ji has told the full story. Bhagat Namdev ji has told the full story. So now Bhai Gurdas ji has told the full story as well. And over here Bhai Gurdas ji saying padhan pathaya 4 saal paande chit hua Prahlaad. Kende par idhar Bhagat Kabir ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, Bhai Gurdas ji ਨੇ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ, ਇੱਧਰ ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਕਹਿਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਪਠਾਇਆ ਪਾਠਸਾਲ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਪਠਾਇਆ ਪਾਠਸਾਲ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਕੂਲੇ ਭੇਜਿਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਰ ਐਵੇਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ was sent to school. This is now in ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਬਾਣੀ, ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਪੜਾਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਪਠਾਇਆ ਪੜਨ ਸਾਲ ਪਾਠਸਾਲ. But then ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੱਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਏ. You know, when somebody's got a little bit of authority, there's some children you'll see they'll always lead the group. Kande sang sakha bahuliye bal, kande Bhagat Prehlaad ji took many friends with them. They didn't go alone. Kande Bhagat Prehlaad ji ne apne dostan nu ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਕੂਲੇ ਜਾਣਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲੋ. They've got many of their friends together. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਗਏ ਨਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੰਗ ਸਖਾ, ਸਖਾ means friend, ਸੰਗ ਸਖਾ ਬਹੁਤ loads of friends, ਸੰਗ ਸਖਾ ਬਹੁਲੀਏ ਬਾਲ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਲਏ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਚੱਲੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਨੂੰ. But when they went to school, what are they trying to teach Bhagat Prehlaad ji? There's a slate. They've given him a slate. On that slate they've written, I remember, whose naam does Bhagat Prehlaad drop since they've been in the mother's womb, that same naam that Narada Muni had given him, of that Akal Purkh ji Vaheguru ji that is absorbed in their creation, they would always say Ram, Ram, Ram. But now on this slate they've started to write Harnaakhash, Jale Harnaakhash, that your father is in the water. Oh, ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ, ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਦੱਸਣ ਲੱਗੇ, they saying to us, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੋਕੋ ਕਹਾ ਪੜਾਵਸ ਆਲ ਜਾਲ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੋਕੋ ਕਹਾ ਪੜਾਵਸ ਆਲ ਜਾਲ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਆਲ ਜਾਲ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what's this rubbish that you're writing on my slate, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ whose name are you trying to get me to meditate on, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that's not God, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ Ram, that Ram that is immersed everywhere, that Ram that has created everything, that Ram can destroy everything, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਨਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੋਕੋ ਕਹਾ ਪੜਾਵਸ ਆਲ ਜਾਲ, कहते मेरी पट्टिया लिख दियो श्री गोपाल, कहते मेरी पट्टिया लिख दियो श्री गोपाल, कहते if you want to write anything on my slate then कहते उत्थे श्री गोपाल दा नाम लिख दो. Who is Sri Gopal? Sri means the highest, the primal being. Sri Gopal. Go means dharti, go means the earth, Pal means palan wala. That Vaheguru Ji that takes care of all its creation. Can they write down the name of Ram on my slate? I don't want to learn anything else in this school. The teachers are thinking, we thought that we're going to get an easy child now. This is the king's child, the king that everybody meditates on, and we thought this is going to be an easy ride. He's got a whole lot of friends with him. Now he wants us to write something out on the slate. It's a sanu sakhaun lagaya. He's trying to teach us over here. And aithe fir Bhai, we're going back to Bhai Gurdas Ji Vaar now. Bhai Gurdas Ji kende simre man vich raam naam, kende simre. Gursikh Pyaro, this word, don't be caught out with this word. A lot of people, when it comes down to this word, no matter where we go, still people are translating it wrong. It's a Sanskriti word. Sanskriti word meaning it was very often used in language when people would say simro. And when somebody is saying, कहते तू अपनी माँ नू सिमरिया कर, तेरी माँ गई है ना किते, कहते तेरा पिता कहते काम ते गया, तू कहते अपने पिता नू सिमरिया भी आ. How do you even, what does this word mean when we put it in that sentence? Simran, simra means remember. Gursikh Pyaro, yaad karna. कहते simre man vich, but what is Bhagat Prehlaad Ji doing at school? Simre man vich Ram naam. कहते वो तो राम दा नाम. They were remembering the name of Ram in their mind, not Harnaakhas, not his father. कहते simre man vich Ram naam. Gursikh Pyaro, so when he comes to school, in his mind he's remembering the name of Ram, but he doesn't stop there. He starts to disturb the whole class. करके मन विच सोच रहा सीगा, when in his mind he's thinking about the name of Ram, of God, but he doesn't stop there. गावे शब्द अनाहद नाद, गावे शब्द. He starts singing out in a beautiful voice, in tune, in rhythm, out to the whole class. ਇੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਚੀ ਉੱਚੀ ਗਾਉਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਲਾਸਰੂਮ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ. Not only was it in his mind, ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੋ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦੱਸੀਆਂ ਭਗਤ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ. In his mind there was the name of God, and then upon his tongue Gave, he was singing Gave, Sabad, Anahad, Naad. So now we've got to think about ourselves as well. For Bhagat Prehlaad Ji, God's name was inside and God's name was on his tongue as well. Both of them matched. Rasna upar bhi Ram da naam, to Gursikh Pyaro andar bhi Ram da naam. Dil ho mohabbat jin sahi sachya, jin man hor mukh hor se kande kachya. रत्ते इश्क खुदाए रंग दीदार के. आह गुरसिख प्यारे, रत्ते इश्क खुदाए रंग दीदार के. विसरिया जिन नाम ते पोए भार थिए. आह दिलों मोहब्बत जिन सही सच्चिया. भगत फरीद जी तो कह लगे, कहते दिलों मोहब्बत जिन, कहते जिन्हां दे दिल विच मोहब्बत है, those that have got love for God inside of their heart. दिलों मोहब्बत जिन सही सच्चिया, कहते उन्होंने सच्चिया कहा जाता. कहते those are the true ones. कहते जिन मन होर, but those that have got something else in their mind. जिन मन होर मुख होर, but they have got something else on their tongue. जिन मन होर मुख होर. रसना उपर तक कहते ने वाहिगुरु जी, रसना दे नाल तक कहते ने राम, रसना दे नाल तक कहते ने हरी हरी. पर कहते जिन मन होर मुख होर से कांडे कच्चा, कहते but they are completely false. But Bhagat Prehlaad Ji is not out of them. Who is Bhagat Prehlaad Ji? Out ratte ishq khudaye rang didar ke. Ratte ishq, they're completely imbued in the name of God. Ratte ishq, ishq means love. They're imbued in love. Ratte ishq khudaye, for Khuda, for Vaheguru Ji Akal Purkh. Ratte ishq khudaye rang didar ke. पर गुरसिख प्यारो फिर भगत फरीद जी कहन लगे, कहते विसरिया जिन नाम, कहते पर those that have forgotten the name of God, कहते विसरिया जिन नाम ते पोए भार थिया. They said they're away on this planet, they're away on this earth. कहते ते पोए, पोए means धरती, this earth, ते पोए भार थिया, कहते they're away on this earth. जिन्होंने उस अकाल पुरख दा नाम नहीं याद किया. गुरसिख प्यारो, आप लिए लड़लाए दर दर बेस से, तिन धन जिने दी माओ आए सफर से. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੜ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ ਨਾ ਉਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਲ, those that have attached themselves to the hem of the Guru, ਤਿਨ ਧਨ ਜਣੇ ਦੀ ਮਾਓ। I ਸਫਲ ਸੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, that mother is blessed। ਤਿਨ ਧਨ ਜਣੇ ਦੀ ਮਾਓ, ਮਾਓ means mother, ਤਿਨ ਧਨ blessed, ਧਨ ਜਣੇ ਦੀ ਮਾਓ। I ਸਫਲ ਸੇ, ਉਹ ਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਆਉਣਾ ਸਫਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। that mother's coming upon this earth, ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, is successful। So ਆਓ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਗਾਵੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਅਨਾਹਦ ਨਾਦ। He starts to sing out loud, and now what starts to happen? ਭਗਤ ਕਰਨ ਸਭ ਚਾਟੜੈ, ਭਗਤ ਕਰਨ ਸਭ ਚਾਟੜੈ। Something else happens, not what the teacher expected. Instead, the teacher thought, Gursikh Pyareo, that Prahlaad would influence everybody to be able to meditate on his dad's name, but instead Bhagat Karan sab chaatade, but all the other students, Bhagat Karan, they started to meditate. They became devotees of God's name instead. Why? Why did it have such an effect, Gursikh Pyareo? Moko kaha padhavas, आल जाल मेरी पट्टिया लिख दे हो श्री गोपाल गुरसिख प्यारे हो। But why has this had such an effect on the other children? ਇੱਥੇ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਨ ਸਭ ਚਾਟੜੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ the rest of the students, they started to copy ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ। They wasn't listening to the teacher anymore. Why did they listen to ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ? Did you think ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ needed to say to them? ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਇੱਥੇ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਨ ਸਭ ਚਾਟੜੇ। They all started to do ਭਗਤੀ। ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਸਾਰੇ ਚਾਟੜੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ। ਇੱਥੇ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਾਂਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਰਹਿ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ। ਪਾਂਦੇ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ, the word ਵਿਸਮਾਦ actually means to be wonderstruck, to be in awe of something. Being over here, ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, they're not in awe. The pandit, the teachers aren't in awe. What are they in instead? They're not in awe. What are they in? This over here, the word means they're shocked, they're horrified, they're thinking ek hi ho gaya। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਰਾਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ, how about if the king finds out? So why did this have an effect? It's a big question here. Why were the children affected by one 6-year-old Prahlaad and these two learned teachers of the Veds that was so learned, so knew so much? Why weren't they affected by this teacher? He's been teaching them for so long, for so many probably months and years. But why within one moment, within an instant of Prahlaad walking into that classroom, why did they all follow Prahlaad? Because the teachers were paid. The teachers, out of fear of Harnaakhas, was getting them by force to say the name of God, who they were being taught that is God, but isn't God. But Prahlaad ji ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੀ। ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਰੰਗੀ ਹੋਈ ਰੂਹ, if you meet somebody that is imbued in love and if they are singing ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ out loud, ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਬੈਠਾ ਆਪ ਜੁੜਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਪਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਆਪ ਹੋਵੇ ਜੁੜਿਆ, but somebody that is connected themselves and sitting there reading ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ, ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਜੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਹੋਈ ਗਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਬਾਣੀ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਨੀ ਪੈ ਜਾਵੇ, ਇੰਜ ਹੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਬਾਣੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਨਾ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ। ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਰਸਨਾ ਤੋਂ ਕੇਵਲ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ, ਜਿਨ ਮਨ ਹੋਰ ਮੁਖ ਹੋਰ, ਜਿਹਦਾ ਮਨ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, if somebody's mind is in the ਭੇਟਾ, somebody's mind is going into the money, ਮੇਰੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕ ਬਣ ਗਏ ਆ, ਪਰ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਪਰ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ, but their mouth is singing the praise of God, but their mind is in the peta, their mind is at home, their mind is everywhere else but other than God's name. But Gursikh Prahlaad, Dilho Mahabbat Jinn, he was in love from inside. So when he spoke from inside, if somebody speaks from outside, if they speak from their tongue, Gursikh Prahlaad, it will reach only your outside, it will reach only the surface of you. But if somebody sings from inside, if somebody sings from their heart, it will reach your heart as well, Gursikh Prahlaad. ਜੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਗਾਊਗਾ ਉਸ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਦਾ ਜਸ, ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਿਲ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਪਹੁੰਚੇਗਾ। ਦਿਲੋਂ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਜਿਨ, he was in love from inside of God, for God. He was meditating on God's name with so much love that when he said God's name, it couldn't help, that name couldn't help but reach the hearts of others as well. ਹਰ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਬਾਣੀ ਮਨ ਮਾਰਿਆ, ਅਣਿਆ ਲੈ ਅਣਿਆ ਰਾਮ ਰਾਜੇ, ਜਿਸ ਲਾਗੀ ਪੀਰ ਪਰਮ ਕੀ ਸੋ ਜਾਣੇ ਜਰੀਆ। ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਜਿਸ ਲਾਗੀ ਪੀਰ ਪਰਮ ਕੀ, only those know when they feel that pain of separation from God how it feels. Nobody else can understand that. Bhagat Prehlaad ji. Teacher can lage, the teachers turn around and say to Bhagat Prehlaad, they said, listen, they said, this isn't going to work out here. They said, this is going to get us into a lot of trouble. So now the teachers, the pandits, they speak to the other children. They said, you'll get into a lot of trouble for this. Do you really want to go through this trouble? It's new for them. He's made them go quiet for a short period. दूसरे जरे मित्र से उन्होंने चुप करा दिता. He's made them go quiet. And now he says, but now he turns to Prahlaad. He goes, Prahlaad, he goes, look, all your other friends have gone quiet because you need to listen to me as well. He goes, तू भी चुप कर जा हुन. कहंदे तू भी जो मैं कहना तू वो कर. कहंदे you need to listen to what I'm saying. Guru Sikh Pyareo, if we go now back to Bhagat Kabir ji's Bani from Guru Granth Sahib ji paij ji. Ithe फिर जवाब दिता, an answer. Bhagat Prehlaad ji answers. He says to his teachers, he says, नहीं छोड़ो रे बाबा राम नाम. कहने नहीं छोड़ो रे बाबा राम नाम. कहने मैं नहीं हूँ छड्डण वाला. कहने मैनू हुण जो मर्जी कर लो. You can do anything you want to me. कहने नहीं छोड़ो रे बाबा राम नाम. मेरो और पढ़न से हो नहीं काम. कहना मेरा होर कोई काम नहीं होर कुछ पढ़न दा. कहने I don't want to know anything else. Bhagat Prehlaad ji says, कहने whatever you say to me, I'm not interested now. कहने मेरो और पढ़न से हो नहीं काम. कहने मेरा होर कोई काम ही नहीं गा. Or whatever you else you trying to say to me to do, I'm not going to do it. कहने नहीं छोड़ो रे. कहने मैं नहीं छड्डना. गुरसिख प्यारियो, मान ना डिगे, तन काहे को डराए. डिगे ना डोले, दिरड़ कर रहे हो. पूर्ण होए त्रिपतानी. What are they trying to do to Bhagat Prehlaad ji? They're trying to take Bhagat Prehlaad ji away. But dige na dole. But he's not falling. He's not wavering. Dige na dole, dirad kar rahe ho. He's being firm. Dige na dole, dirad kar rahe ho. Puran hoye tripatani, because he's satisfied from inside. He doesn't need anything else now. When somebody's satisfied, jo unhanu Rabb mil gaya andaro Gursikh Pyareo, there's nothing else. Now we've got to think about us. Bhagat Prehlaad ji ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਡੋਲੇ. Bhagat Prehlaad ji didn't fall. ਪਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸੋਚੀਏ, ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਡਿੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ. ਡਿਗੇ ਨਾ ਡੋਲੇ. Bhagat Prehlaad ji didn't fall. ਪਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਨ ਕਰਦਾ, look, Bhagat Prehlaad ji was only they were only in the womb. They listened to their Guru's upadesh, which was Narad Muni. No matter what is coming his way, but he's not moving away from that. Jo marji hon dige na dole. He's not wavering. Nah, he's not falling. Dige na dole. Dirad, he's being firm. Dirad kar rahe ho. Puran hoye tripatani. He's completely satisfied. There's nothing that can take him away now from Ram's now. But Gursikh Pyareo, there's things that take us away all the time from our Guru's upadesh. But sada Guru vi sanu upadesh dinde. But our Guru is always telling us things. But the littlest of things are taking us away, Gursikh Pyareo, from our Guru's bhajan. But let us just take the firmness. So if we take the innocence from Bhagat Prehlaad ji, so what we're going to take from Bhagat Prehlaad ji is the firmness. No matter what came his way, he didn't move away, Gursikh Pyareo. But now the teachers start to think, उन्होंने होने विच अपने मन विच धारण कीता. वो कहने लगे कहंदे इन्हें तो सुनना नहीं. कहंदे he's not going to listen. We can't tell him off too much because his mother the queen, she's told us you're not to dance. मेरे बच्चे ਨੂੰ डांटना नहीं. I don't want you shouting at my child. I don't want you hitting my child. So they said on one side we've got his mum, and on the other side we've got the fear of his father. If his father finds out that we've not been able to teach him, what should we do? We're in a dilemma. कहंदे इदां करदे आ. कहंदे राजे पास रवाया. भाई गुरदास जी कहने लगे कहंदे राजे पास रवाया. कहंदे we'll go to the Raja, we'll go to the king ourselves, just in case the king finds out through other means. If he finds out through other means that we've not been able to do a job, we've had it. So why not? We'll go to him direct and try to explain the situation to him that we've tried, and instead he's ruined the other children as well. And think about this, saying he's ruined the other children as well. Look how firm Bhagat Prehlaad ji was. Think about us now. He was able to influence them. But Gursikh Pyareo, again, apana sochiye. We've got to be real to ourselves. Are we strong enough like Bhagat Prehlaad ji? can we go anywhere we want to go and not be influenced by that surrounding? So we've got to ask, apne aap nu sawal puchna aapa. Let's ask ourselves a question. Can we go anywhere? Some people say, kende nahi, kende duniyadar vi chalauniya, kende sara kuch dekhna penda ya. Kende we have to look at everything. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਾਟੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਰਾਬਾਂ ਕਬਾਬਾਂ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨੱਚਣ ਟੱਪਣ ਵੀ all these things are taking place ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਪਰ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਇੱਕ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਓ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ask yourself a question in your mind first to yourself are you as firm as Bhagat Prehlaad ji are you able to go to that place and instead your fragrance of naam is so much that you're able to spread your fragrance and influence them by just being what you are. Bhagat Prehlaad ji didn't preach to them. Remember that. Bhagat Prehlaad ji didn't preach to the other children. He was just what he was. He was so much in love with Vaheguru ji that his fragrance went on to them without him even realizing. Sahib subai. Gurumukh milya subai. Har manti na meetha laya. ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਫੇਰ ਆਪਾਂ then we need to listen to ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ ਕਬੀਰ ਸਾਖਤ ਸੰਗ ਨਾ ਕੀਜੀਏ ਦੂਰ ਹੈ ਜਾਈਏ ਭਾਗ ਬਾਸਨ ਕਾਰੋ ਪਰਸੀਏ ਤੋ ਕੱਚ ਲਾਗੇ ਦਾਗ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਇਸ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣੀਏ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ listen to this very carefully ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ saying this saying ਕਬੀਰ ਸਾਖਤ ਸੰਗ ਨਾ ਕੀਜੀਏ ਸਾਖਤ ਦਾ ਅਰਥ ਕੀ ਹੈ what does ਸਾਖਤ mean Sakat is normally translated to a faithless person. But Gursikh Pyaro, a Sakat for us is that person that is able to influence us to take us away from our Guru. Jithe apan nu sochna pave, if we are one way in somewhere else, if we're able to be strong in our Guru's house, if we're coming to the Gurdwara, if we're going to see the Sangat, and we're able to be strong there, but if we know we're about to go into such a company, into such a place, and then we have to be different to the way how we would go and see our Guru, then Guru Sikh Pyaro, they are then faithless, they are then sakat. For us, because they're taking us away from our Guru, then Bhagat Kabir ji, take the advice of Bhagat Kabir ji, because what I sometimes think, we go many places, especially in places like this, Guru Sikh Pyaro, when we're traveling, we find this a lot of people nowadays, they instead what are they doing from Katha? What are they taking from the Katha? They're accumulating knowledge. But Gursikh Pyareo, nahi. Ek keval knowledge vaste nahi. This isn't just for knowledge. What you hear from the Katha, this is actually to act upon in your lives. Is to take this and is to live this. Satgur ki Bani, Sat Swarup hai Gurbani. Baniya, we need to become the Guru's word, become the Guru's word. Gursikh Pyaro, if our Guru is saying to us, Kabir Sakat Sangna Kijiye, Dure Jaiye Pak, they said, don't do Sangat of a Sakat because you're not strong enough yet. You're going to be influenced. You're going to act differently over here to how you would do in Sangat, to how you would do with your Guru. Gursikh Pyaro, if your tongue is going to get loose in that environment, if your tongue is going to get loose where you start swearing, where you start lying because then they influence you. If you're not able to, you go to the Gurdwara, you go to the Sangat and you're able to cover your hair. You're able to cover your head, you're able to wear the star in that place. But then you go to such a place, then you go to a surrounding, you go to meet certain type of people. You're not able to wear the star in that place, Gursikh Pyaro. Then Kabir ji saying, Kabir Sakat Sangna Kijiye, Dure hai jaiye Pak. They said, stay away and then run away from that place. If you feel that you can keep your beard flowing open, you come to the Gurdwara with pride with your beard flowing open, but then you think if I meet those group of friends, they're going to laugh at me, then I need to tie my beard up. Kabir just saying, Kabir Sakat Sang na kijiye, Dure jaiye Pak. They said, run away from those people because they're taking you away from your Guru. Gursikh Pyareo, don't listen to me, listen to Bhagat Kabir ji. This is our Bani, Gursikh Pyareo, and when our Bani speaks to us, we got to become that Bani. On the other side, Bhagat Kabir ji saying, Basan karo parsiye. This is Basan karo parsiye. Basan means panda, Basan means a vessel. They said, if you go to a vessel that is full of soot, Basan karo parsiye. Karo means soot. If you go to a vessel that is full of soot, Basan karo parsiye. If you touch that vessel, tau kach lage daag, the koshta daag laguga na. You're bound to get some soot on you, you're bound to get some blackness upon you. If you know you're going to go somewhere where you're going to get some blackness upon you, you're not going to be how you would be around good Sangat, how you would be around the Guru, then Gursikh Pyaro, then you need to run away from that place. If we're not like Bhagat Prehlaad ji hai. Bhagat Prehlaad ji, he was at such a state that sant na shadei santei. He was the status of a sant. When Bhagat Kabir ji in another slok, then they say to us, who can go to these places? This is sant na shadei santei. That person that is a sant. Who's a sant? Jara na shadei santei, that doesn't give up their virtues. Whatever their virtues are, santei means virtues. Whatever virtues they are, if they don't give up them virtues, they are the same in front of the Guru. Guru Sikh Pyaro Murkh kenu kende. Who is a Murkh? Muh rakh. Jara pyareo sare paase muh rakh lave. That tries to please everyone. Muh rakh. That's a Murkh. Murkh means fool. Who is a fool? Muh rakh. Guru de agge bhi muh rakh liya. We come to the Guru, ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਲਿਆ, ਇੱਥੇ ਸਿਰ ਢੱਕ ਲਿਆ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਗਏ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ I need to dress like everybody else. I need to be dressed where parts of my body are revealed, and over here I can't be wearing my crown. And Guru Sikh Pyaro, they sing that is a mੂੰਹ ਰੱਖ. ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਰੱਖ ਲਿਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਰੱਖ ਲਿਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੂਰਖ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ. That person is a fool that is trying to please everybody. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ please them ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੁੜਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਲਾਉਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ. These are my daughters, these are the in-laws of my daughters. If I don't give them sharab, then they're going to be upset with me. ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਰੱਖ ਲਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਵਾ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਿੱਖ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਰੱਖ ਲਿਆ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਰੱਖ. ਗੁਰੂ ਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਪਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਬਣਨਾ ਆ. ਡਿਗੇ ਨਾ ਡੋਲੇ, ਦਿਰੜ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ. We need to be firm. ਡਿਗੇ ਨਾ ਡੋਲੇ. If we're not firm yet, then we need to do more and more ਸੰਗਤ. ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ, they've gone and complained now to the king. They sing raajai paas rwaya, but they didn't expect this. They didn't expect this from the king. How did the king react? He said, my son's being like this. Kehne raajai paas rwaya. They complained to the king. Instead, kehne dokhi dant vadhaya vaad. Kehne dokhi dant, this demon, this criminal, dokhi dant. Kehne dokhi dant vadhaya vaad. Kehne unhe ta gali bahut vadha diti. He took this little thing, he completely blew it out of context. ਦੋਖੀ ਦੈਂਤ ਵਧਾਇਆ ਵਾਦ. ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਚਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ. Now you know when sometimes you grass somebody up and then they end up getting into a lot more trouble than you expected, then you start to worry. You think, oh my God, what have I done? You think, I was trying to save myself and now I've got him into a lot more trouble. I didn't want him to get into that much trouble. ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਸੈਂਟ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਪਾਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੰਡੇ ਮਰ ਕੇ Keho Jai, Sunday Marke is the names of the two teachers. Sanda and Marka. It's written in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Guru Amar Das Ji mentioned their name as well. Now they're worried. They say to the king, give us a minute. Let us try and explain to him. Because he's saying, he said, I'll kill him. I don't care that he's my son. Oh, they said, wait a minute. And give us one more chance. Let us speak to him first. And they think, what have we done? Kende Sunday Marke, Keho Jai. They said to a messenger, they said, quick. He said, go and call Prahlaad, we need to talk to him quick. His father's gone out of control. Kande Sunday marke keho jaye Prahlaad bulaye beg tae. Beg means quickly. He said, quick, go and call Prahlaad. Prahlaad ji comes nice and calm. He's chilling. He ain't got no problems. He's not afraid. Prahlaad ji comes, he says, Hanji dasso. Because what is it? He goes, tu kende tu shad kende us raam da naam japna. तू राम कहने की शोट बान. कहते तू राम कहने की शोट बान. कहते forget this what you are doing. कहते तुझ तुरत छडाओ मेरो कहे ओ मान. कहते असी तेनू कहते तू कहते तेन छडा दूंगे. कहते we can get you away from this. We'll get you released from all this. कहते all you need to do is कहते तू राम कहने की शोट बान. कहते all you need to do is to save your life, stop saying Ram's naam. Guru Sikh pyareo, you know what Bhagat Prehlaad ji said in return? कहते मोको कहा बतावो. कहते मोको कहा सतावो बार कहते की है मैनू मैनू सताई जाने आ. कहते why are you doing this to me? कहते मैनू कहते हैं सताई जाने आ तुसी. कहते why are you giving me this grief? Why are you giving me this trouble? कहते मोको कहा कहते सतावो बार कहते बार hard time again and again you keep giving me grief. कहते get away from me. He's saying to his teachers, Guru Sikh pyareo, Dige na dole, he's not fallen. He knows now how his father has just reacted. And then ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਫੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਪੇ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਇਹਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਮੰਨਣੀ if he is not going to listen if he is going to corrupt other people against me ਕਹਿੰਦੇ then get rid of him kill him ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਲ ਅਗਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੱਤਿਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ get him into that jal get him into the water if you have to drown him jal agan vich katya can they throw him into the fire throw him into the water whatever you have to do to him now just get rid of him can they jal agan vich katya can they okay so what do? They take Prahlaad they captured Prahlaad Gursikh pyareo they put him onto a boat they put Prahlaad onto a boat and they throw him into the water jal agan vich katya they throw him into the water and they said he's a child he's not going to be able to swim he's not going to be able to get out they then this is in Multan in a place called Multan they take the boat and then they go away but Gursikh pyareo us akal purkh ne jira raam da naam japda siga na apne nu pe nu kane said to his father he said you can't destroy me because you are not my creator you are not my destroyer he says you're trying to put fear on me he said I only fear akal purkh I only fear God his father said then I'll see then I'll show you what I'm about as well. They captured him. They threw him into that water. But Gursikh pyareo, the story is written many different ways. And then some people say that a fish came from the bottom. They took him to shore. The next thing you know, they turn around to see, to make sure he's definitely gone. And he's sitting on the other side of the shore. He's sitting there with his legs crossed, his eyes closed. And what is he saying? He's saying, Raam, Raam, Raam. They're thinking, all right, maybe we need to tie him up. Let's put him into chains. They tie him up in chains. They throw him again. The same thing happens again. And then Gursikh pyareo, what do they do? And then Harnaakhash calls his sister. His sister's name is Holka. He says to his sister Holka, he says, what you need to do is, he goes, you've got a boon, haven't you? He goes, you've got a boon from the devotee that nobody can burn you. He said, so what I want you to do is, some people said that she had this special blanket with a boon, that blanket couldn't burn. He said, what I want you to do is, sit with him, jal agana vich katya. He was thrown in fire and water. They said then, his sister, Holka, this is where holy came from. Holy came from this, but I haven't got time now to go into that, how that came about. You know, the first day of spring that when people celebrate Holki and then Satche Pacha, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha then brought in Hola Mahalla the next day. But then Gursikh pyareo and then lakkadaan uthe rakhiyan gaiyan. They've gathered his sister with loads of wood around them. She takes this blanket all over her with the boon so she won't be burned. But Bhagat Prehlaad, she's holding and she's sitting with him so that he's burnt alive. He's burnt to life and just becomes ash. So Gursikh pyareo, as she sits there, the sister of Haranaakhas, Holka, she sits there with Prahlaad, Gursikh pyareo. As the fire starts to burn, Gursikh pyareo, what happens? The blanket, they say, blew off and came upon Bhagat Prehlaad ji, and Holka was burnt and became ash. And when the fire was dimmed, when they took the fire out, what do they see? Harnaakhash is waiting to see the ashes of his son, but instead he sees Prahlaad ji sitting in that blanket saying Raam, Raam, Raam. He tries to destroy him, but dige na dhole, dirad kar rahe ho, purna hoye tripatani, marna dige tan kahe ko drai Bhagat Kabir ji's Bani. Gursikh pyareo, nothing is able to destroy Prahlaad. Many things they've tried. Now over here, Bhai Gurdas ji writes, Bhai Gurdas ji kende jal agan vich katya, kende par kende jale na dube. Kende but nothing was able to burn him, jale na dube, nothing was able to drown him. Gur Prasad, he had the grace of God above his head. Because Gur also means the highest. Gur also means God as well. Gur the highest. Gur Prasad, he had the grace of God above his head. Why did he have the grace of God? Because he had so much faith. He was so stern. He didn't come away from saying Ram's name at all. And then Gursikh pyareo, people write many things. They tried many other things as well. But now Harnaakhash thinks I've lost. He says, I can't lose. No. Because I can't lose. I've even won over death. So he turns around, Guru Sikh Pyareo. He asks then Bhagat Prehlaad a question. Just before he asks this question to Bhagat Prehlaad ji, there's a pillar. And Harnaakhash, he gets his servants to make that pillar red hot. He makes that pillar red hot, Guru Sikh Pyareo, and he says to his son, he says, Prahlaad, he says, hug that pillar so your skin sticks to that pillar and it burns you, so I can watch you die in front of my eyes. Bhagat Prehlaad ji is walking towards that pillar, Guru Sikh Pyareo, and Prahlaad, he said, you know what, I'm going to finish you off myself. Kad khadg sad puchya. What did he do? Kad khadg. Harnaakhash, this demon, he takes out this sword. When khadg means sword, he takes out a sword in front of his son, right in front of this hot burning pillar, sings Kad khadg sad puchya. He calls his son and he asks him a question. He goes, Kad khadg sad puchya. He goes, Kaun so tera hai ustad? He goes, call him now. Kaun so tera hai ustad? Who is your ustad? Who is your teacher now? Where's your guru now? Where is that God? Where is that raam of yours? Who's going to save you from my sword now? He goes, Kad khadg sad puchya. Kaun so tera hai ustad? Par Guru Sikh Pyareo, othe Bhagat Prehlaad ji dole. Did Bhagat Prehlaad ji waver at that time when he saw that sword? That sword was shining, Guru Sikh Pyareo. But did Bhagat Prehlaad ji get frightened then? Dige na dole, Guru Sikh Pyareo. Just like this, in 1699, next week is Vaisakhi coming, Guru Sikh Pyareo. Dhan Guru Gobind Singh ji Paatshah ji in 1699, they took out this shining sword. Just like Harnaakhash has got this sword out now. Kad khadg sad puchya. He's saying, now who's your guru? Who's going to protect you now? But in 1699, Guru Sikh Pyareo, Guru Gobind Singh ji Paatshah ji, Satguru aage sheesh phet deo. Je Satguru sache bhave. Guru Gobind Singh ji Paatshah ji took out a shining sword as well in Anandpur Sahib. Today we know that place as Kesgarh Sahib. In Kesgarh Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh ji Paatshah ji कहने लगे, कहने कौन तैयार है, कहने शीश देने वास्ते. Who is ready to give their head? Guru Gobind Singh ji Paatshah ने कहने पूछा, कहने कोई है? Just like Guru Sikh Pyareo, Bhagat Prehlaad ji wasn't afraid. Dige na dole. He didn't fall. He didn't waver. Dirat kar rahe ho. He remained firm. Just like that, Bhai, Pyare Bhai, they are raam. Oh, dare nahi. They didn't get afraid as well. Oh, ni dole. They didn't waver as well. Many people wavered during that time, but Bhai, they are raam. That became Bhai Daya Singh. And Guru Sikh Pyareo, they were from Lahore. They were from Lahore. Oh nahi dige, oh more aaya apna sheesh den. Satguru aage sheesh phet deo. There's only one thing that our Guru asks from us. Our Guru isn't asking for anything else. There's only one thing our Guru asks from us, and that is Satguru aage sheesh phet deo. Give your head to the Guru. Just Satguru sache bhave. If this is what pleases our Guru, then why don't you give what pleases your Guru? Why don't you give that thing? Not what I think pleases the Guru. If I think this is what I want to do, this isn't about what I want to do. Gur Sikhi da karm eho. Gur farmaye, Gur Sikh karna jo Gur kahe, soi bhal mano. Har har katha nirali. Eta nirali katha. This is a distinct way of life. The Guru is asking for heads, Guru Sikh Pyareo. The Guru isn't asking for anything else. This is what pleases the Guru. If anything that pleases the Guru, what pleases the Guru is just like when Bhai Daya Ramji came forward. That's what pleases the Guru. Sheesh phet deo. Give your head. Man becha Satgur ke paas te sevak ke karaj ras. Guru khali nahi chhaduga Guru Sikh. The Guru won't leave you empty. Aithe na hon Guru Sikh Pyareo. Bhagat Prehlaad ji ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ who is your guru, who is going to come and protect you now, who is going to protect you from this sword? And they Guru Sikh Pyareo ਇੱਥੇ Bhagat Prehlaad ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you are not in control of death, जोर ना जीवन मरण है जोर जोर ना जीवन you do not have power over life you do not have power over death of dying ਇੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਥੰਮ ਪਾੜ ਪ੍ਰਗਟਿਆ ਨਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੂਪ ਅਨੂਪ ਅਨਾਦ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ What happens here? Imagine that moment. There's Harnaakhash with a sword. He's saying, who's going to protect you now? God, khadg sad puchya. He's got a khadg in his hand. He's asking him, who's going to come and protect you now? And then what happens? Bhagat Prehlaad ji didn't say, he didn't cry out and said, come and protect me. But Gursikh pyareo bhagta di sada tu rakhadhaa har jiyo. But you always come to protect the bhagat. Bhagta di sada tu rakhadhaa har jiyo. Aho. Gursikh pyareo, you always protect your bhagats, oh Vaheguru ji. Prahlaad jan tud rakhya har jiyo. Just like you protected Prahlaad. Prahlaad jan tud rakhya. Harnaakhash maar pachaaya. Just like you destroyed Harnaakhash. You always looked after your bhagat. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਥੰਮ ਪਾੜ ਪ੍ਰਗਟਿਆ ਨਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੂਪ ਅਨੂਪ ਅਨਾਦ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਥੰਮ ਪਾੜ ਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ the pillar ripped open and came out who? Nar Singh. Gursikh Pyar, Nar Singh, the roop of Vishnu, they right, but Gursikh Pyar, for us, we're going to think about Vaheguru Ji. That Akal Purkh, that Ek Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji came in the form of half man, half lion. He wasn't a human being because he said, no human being can destroy me. He said, no man can destroy me, no woman can destroy me. So Vaheguru Ji's come as half man, half lion. Gursikh Pyar, at that time, it wasn't night, it wasn't day. It was what we call Sandhya, right in the middle. When we're supposed to do Rehras of the part, right in the middle, it's not dark, it's not night, it's not day, when the two times are meeting, right in the middle. Gursikh pyareo, ਉੱਥੇ ਆਇਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੂਪ ਅਨੂਪ ਅਨਾਦ. What does he do? ਬੇਮੁਖ ਪਕੜ ਪਛਾੜਿਆ ਬੇਮੁਖ, that ਬੇਮੁਖ that turned his face away from God. ਬੇਮੁਖ ਪਕੜ, he took hold of Harnaakhash there. He's saying, who's going to now protect you? Who's going to save you? Kande pakad. He took hold of him. Bemukha pakad pashare. Pashare means to destroy. Sant sahai aad jugad har jug jug bhagat oupaaeiaa paij rakhadhaa aaeiaa raam raajae haranaakhas dhusatt har maariaa prehalaadh tharaaeiaa har jug jug bhagat oupaaeiaa. That Vaheguru Ji gives birth, that gives Vaheguru Ji sends a bhagat in each era, in each age. Har jug jug Vaheguru Ji har jug jug in each age, har jug jug bhagat oupaaeiaa paij rakhadhaa aaeiaa raam raajae. But he saves them as well. Harnaakhash dhusatt har maariaa. He takes and destroys these Harnaakhash, these demons. Gursikh pyareo, aithe what did then now Nar Singh do? The form of God took him on his knee. So he wasn't on the earth, he wasn't in the sky, he was right in the middle. He wasn't outside of the palace, he wasn't inside of the palace, he stood right in the doorway, in the middle of the doorway. It wasn't night, it wasn't day, he was right in the middle. He didn't use no weapons. This Nar Singh, this form of half man, half lion, had long nails, and he took Harnaakhash on his knee and he ripped through his chest, ripped through his belly and destroyed him. Gursikh pyareo, har jug jug bhagat oupaaeiaa paij rakhadhaa aaeiaa raam raajae Harnaakhash dhusatt har maariaa Prahlaad tharaaeiaa. Jai Jaikar Karan Brahmadik, and then the all the deities, everybody else was doing Jai Jaikar, was hailing God, saying Jai, Jai, Jai.
Vaheguru Vahe